Hi everyone, it's Jen Kinkade with another Scrap Your Stash video series. Today I'm going to be talking about scrapping your stash of wood embellishments to make this 2-page 12 by 12 layout. I used an old layout of mine as inspiration and also as a way to just document my gratitude of how this year has gone for me. So let's start with products. I have papers from the Dear Lizzie Polka Dot Party collection as well as Maggie Holmes Flea Market collection. White orange peel cardstock from Basil, and pattern papers from the Midnight Collection Project Life edition. I have these digital cut files from 2 Peas in a Bucket, as well as a handwritten cut file that I made myself. I'm going to show you how to use these Christmas themed cut files just on an everyday layout. And then I have this tag that I welded together that I'll be using for my journaling. These are hole reinforcements, enamel dots, exclusive 2 Peas in a Bucket 2x2 wood tiles, wood embellishments from Studio Calico and Freckled Fawn, clothespins from Pebbles, as well as other assorted wood embellishments that I have kept in these little jars. And I also grabbed from my stash of buttons. I have these little wood buttons that I just literally took out of a jar that I have here in my space, and these old Hero Arts wood stamps. I thought, why not incorporate some wood stamps? And inks, gel medium, black acrylic paint, and pop dots. I'm going to show you how I used American Crafts pop dots to make a polka dot stamp to use in creating my background. So I used some gel medium plus these pop dots to create different texture, and you can see the difference here. I wanted to show you between the gel medium and modeling paste. The modeling paste is a little bit more matte and raised, and the gel medium has a little bit flatter texture but glossier finish. So I have a styrofoam bowl and a craft stick. I'm going to take a little bit of the gel medium by Design Memory Craft, just put right there. You really don't need a whole lot. Just a couple little dabs there. Next you'll add your acrylic paint color of choice, and you don't really need a lot of color because this is gel medium. It mixes up really well. There's not a lot of grain or distortion of color that occurs. Just add as much as you like until you get the consistency and color that you want. Just make sure it's mixed up really well so there's not any discrepancy in the color when you go to spread it out on your cardstock for the background. And to make the background, I'm actually going to start with the pop dots first. As you can see the polka dot design there, I'm using VersaFine jet black ink, and I'm just stamping it on there randomly. And surprisingly, the pop dots actually do keep their stickiness a good bit. You would think it would wear off a while, but there is just a little bit of stick, so don't be surprised about that. It doesn't inhibit the stamping process. I just wanted to make you aware of that. Next I'm going to take this, I've used this before, it's called Punchinella or sequin waste. You can see how sequins just come out of that. I have that in my stash. I bought it off of Etsy, and I use it a lot for masking and creating textures on things that I make. But there are also wonderful stencils here in the shop by Jenny Bolin or Prima where you could get the same effect. I'm just using what I have on hand, and you can see I'm taking the craft stick and I'm just smearing across the area. I'm not concerned about covering up the whole area there where the Punchinella is. I just kind of want to take it and smear it across there like you're icing a cake or making a sandwich and putting spread. It's just that simple and easy. And for this last area that I'm going to add the gel medium to, I'm going to do it a little bit lighter so it does just look more smeared. And there you go. It's really that simple. You can use your heat gun to help expedite the drying process. I did just kind of let mine dry on its own. So for time's sake, that's why I just showed you how I made it and already had everything together. So I have the background paper behind my cardstock, and now I'm taking my photos and deciding where I want to place everything. I really like the idea of, from the layout that I was inspired to use, to still have that photo booth effect, but not just using photos, incorporating the 2x2 wood tiles as well. So what I did is I had the two different floral pattern papers from Dear Lizzie and Maggie Holmes, and I wasn't sure which I wanted to use to add a pop of color to coordinate with the scarf and the shirt that I was wearing here. And I just decided that it would be a lot easier to embellish this layout using the Maggie Holmes, because it just had a little bit more color pop to it. And I'm actually using the cutout squares from the film strip that I made and with my silhouette cameo to back some of my pictures, and I'm using some of the Dear Lizzie polka dotted paper to add corners to my layouts and to layer underneath these 2x2 wood tiles. And now I'm just starting to place my wood embellishments down on my paper to see how I want it all to come together and how I want it to look. I'm going to use my trimmer and cut up some of these papers so it'll fit behind the wood tile but not show through the film strip cut that I made. So I'm just kind of playing around with that, seeing how all that will work and what the best way is. So I just decided that I'm going to tack that heart down with some machine stitching, and I would adhere the photo strip down and then put my photos underneath that without it being completely tacked down. I just found that was the easiest way when I'm working with multiple photos here in order to achieve that look. And you know, beyond using the wood embellishments and the photo strip idea and the cut files and everything, this layout is really a layout of gratitude for me, which I just thought was appropriate for this month, with it being Thanksgiving here in the United States, because I've just really been thinking about how blessed I am, how many wonderful opportunities that have come my way, and in spite of some personal challenges that I've had over the last couple years, that if I really stop and think about what I have in my life, it's just lots of really great things, and I didn't want to forget that. And so that was another important reason why I wanted to make this page and document this time in my life from the beginning of 2013 till now, almost the end, and just really look back and reflect on what's just been going on and to not forget. And now I'm just adding more embellishments. I'm taking the thread, as you've seen me do lots of times before, just to add some more texture, adding the cut files over that and putting some wood embellishments on top of those cut files. And you can see how easily it comes together and how quick it can be too, and not let the color scheme kind of mess with you, because black and white is just so super simple, and adding pops of color here and there is really easy to do. And I'm speeding up the video here just to show you, just for the sake of time, because I'm really just kind of fussing around a little bit with where I want everything to go, and it's just a matter of placement, gluing everything down, and getting everything where I want it to be. And now I'm playing around with this photo here on the right side of the layout. The layered papers from Dear Lizzie and the Maggie Holmes collection, the flea market collection. I'm going to add a little typed word there. It says always. And then the wood embellishment that says dream, always dream. And then just adding that black colored clip from Pebbles to kind of act like it's holding it on there. Just glued it down for the sake of not bunching the papers up. And And now I'm going to start embellishing that upper left corner using the patterned paper, a little bit of glue, some thread, and then I'm going to start adding some of the wood embellishments up there in the corner. This J from Studio Calico from my stash, wood button, and I'm just playing around with other things, and I've decided to get some of these wood stars from Studio Calico because I wanted to add it there to the upper left corner. And then I thought what a neat look it was as I was placing it intentionally on the left side of my layout there. I thought, well, how fun would that be just to kind of have those stars bursting and kind of reinforce my theme of what I was going for. Gratitude and feeling lucky and blessed and loved, and I just feel so lucky to be where I am right now in life, and it's a good thing. So that was a neat little thing that happened where I just saw it spelled out and thought, well, why not glue those down too? So now I'm going to take black StazOn ink. I found that the StazOn ink worked best whenever I was trying this out before when I was stamping on these wood tiles, just because the ink didn't bleed. It's just you give the stamp a nice tap in the ink and you can stamp right there on the wood tile, and I am stamping Lucky Girl around this heartwood tile. And then I knew I also wanted to add something to the photo above the Lucky Girl wood tile where I was laughing. And I thought at first that I would use letter stickers. But then as I kept stamping, here I'm stamping blessed on the ampersand wood tile, I thought, well, as I was getting ready to put my stamps away, I thought, why not just stamp right on the photo too, because you can use StazOn ink to stamp right on your photos as well. So you're going to see me here just kind of taking a look at everything and thinking I'm going to add the stickers, but then I decided I'm gonna add the stamping to the photo. So here I bring the stamps back. And I just add the word laugh. You know, my intention was to make this a fun layout too, to not only reflect and express my attitude, but to show the fun aspects of my personality too. I like to laugh, I like to be goofy, and not just quiet and serious all the time too. So I really feel like this layout reflects my personality. So here I'm taking this heart, which is part of the Let Your Heart Be Light cut file from Two Peas in a Bucket, and I decided I wanted to take the extra square from the film strip cutout and back that heart and cut it out with my scissors and give that right side a little bit more color to the whole layout. So right now that's what I'm doing. I'm cutting around that heart and getting ready to adhere it there to the upper right corner of the layout. And it just adds a nice extra pop of color. And now I'm just going to continue adding embellishments. I'm going to add some of the freckled fawn arrow wood embellishments there. And adding one of those hearts from Studio Calico up to the paper heart. And now I'm going to add that tag cut file that I showed you earlier and decided to put the hello wood tile on there along with that reinforcement, and I'm going to open that up, and that's where I'll write my journaling with a white pen on the inside. Just adding some enamel dots now. And my layout is pretty much done. I'm just going to end up stitching around the outsides and stitching around those film strips. So I encourage you to scrap your wood embellishment stash and even use an old layout for inspiration and upload your creation to the Two Peas Gallery. Thanks for watching. See you next time.